I was born in a village called Kara, which is located in the Muhun Valley. I spent a part of my childhood, but especially a large part, in Bombiku, which is about 15 kilometers from Kara. I didn't grow up in a wealthy family. There are many things that are difficult to understand as a child. What I need to remember, and this is an opportunity for me to thank the parents, is that at your age, it's not easy. But when I was in your place, what I remembered the most about my father was that every end of the month when I saw him with his pencil, he was calculating. Every end of the month he was calculating. And when he retired, every 3 months he was calculating. But later when I grew up, I understood what he was calculating. It's difficult when you have a salary to think about how to feed the children, how to educate them, how to take care of them, how to dress them. This is what he was calculating. So, I want to tell you that the parents care a lot about us. They fight for us, and you can't imagine how much. Many of you, when you grow up, one day you will understand. We had to grow up and pay.
Coming from a poor background means you understand what people are going through. Means when someone says, I have slept angry today, or when someone says, I went to school, it means you understand. Coming from a poor background means you know what people are going through. Coming from a poor background, that is what it means. It means when someone cries because he has lacked school fees, or rather, when someone cries because he has not gotten an opportunity to find something to put on the table, it means you understand. Ibrahim Traore is a man who did not come from a rich background. He came from a poor family. You've heard himself saying. And I believe only those people who understand the cry of the people, who understand when people complain because of poverty, are the only people who can be leaders. He understands. So the fact that he is helping people, the reason he's helping people, the reason he really put the interests of people first, it is because he understands what people are going through. He understands what people are facing out here. He knows when people cry, he knows there is something they are going through. And that is why he came out to fight for the rights of the people. The problem in every home, if you have grown up, you've grew up from a poor background, you will understand this. The problem in every home that is poor always starts when the father or the provider of the family gets the salary. Some people would think the moment you get salary is when now life begins being smart. No. Life only starts being good. Okay, life starts being bad. Life starts being difficult. Depression and stress starts when the moment you receive your salary. At the end of the month, you have received your salary, is when now you start feeling like you are depressed, you are stressful, and all those things. Because this is the time now you need to sit down and start doing calculations on how you're going to divide this money to everything at home. Children should go to school. You need to calculate that. Food is needed in the house. You need to calculate that. There is money to pay bills. You need to calculate that. Maybe you're paying rent. You need to calculate that. Many other things are needed. So you're looking at your payslip. Sometimes you begin even shedding tears. Because the money that you have received cannot even cover a half of the problems or a half of the things you want to cover, you want to work for. It can't even cover a half. That is where the problem will always begin from. Because you are depressed. You are depressed. Your wife is there. She needs money to buy food. Your children are there. They need money to go to school. But that money is not there. That is when now you will realize the life we are living is not a good life at all. And why are we living that kind of life? We are living that kind of life because there are some people who had to sit down to make sure that is the kind of life we are living. It's not easy. It's not easy, I'm telling you. And that is why we must wake up. We must wake up and do everything possible to make sure the generation that will come will not go through the things we have gone through as the existing generation. People think we are living well. Someone would think you are good, you're doing good. But deep down yourself, you know you're not doing good. Themselves, they know we are not doing good. It is their happiness for us to continue living the same way we are living, for them to continue invading in our countries, and for them to continue ruling over us time and again. So when our life is like this, when we are living this kind of life, to them, they feel so good. Because only by having problems and by having by suffering is when we can allow them to come into these countries, into our land, because they are coming in the name of they are coming to help us. For heaven's sake, who would not need help? The problem with us is that we have not identified, we don't want to identify the problem. When we identify the cause of the problem, we will be able to stop the problem. We have identified the problem. We are failing to identify the cause of the problem or the sources of the problem, where the problem is coming from. The moment we identify the source of the problem, what is causing the problem, we will not deal with the problem. We will deal with the cause of the problem. By dealing with the cause of the problem, that means that problem will have to stop. Why should we continue living like this? Our parents are struggling. Our parents are going through a lot of things. African leaders are just people who cannot help. We choose them instead of helping us get out of this. They are the ones who continue to dip us in this problem like we don't know what to say. It's so sad. It's sad, it's sad, it's sad. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here, African Streamline family. I love you guys so much. Africa is home, and anything that concerns Africa concerns me and you as Africans. Adios muchachos, guys.